11 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking at noon, a body found wrapped in plastic in front of a Pittsburgh house. Good afternoon, I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Melanie Gillespie. Police were at that house investigating a missing persons case. And while they were there, they found a woman in the basement, and she is being questioned right now.
As soon as we heard what was going on, we sent Channel 11's Serafina James to Brighton Heights to check it out. She joins us live this afternoon. Serafina, what have you been able to find out?
Gordon and Melanie, here's what we know so far. Earlier this morning, police came to this home on California Avenue in Brighton Heights to check on a tip about a missing person. When they got to the stairway, that's when they found a body wrapped in plastic. And here's what happened next.
When officers arrived to the door, they noticed an object wrapped in plastic near the front door. Officers looked and they discovered that it was a deceased body. Officers then did a protective sweep inside of the house where they found a woman hiding in the basement.
Meet me at the dining.
The woman found hiding in the basement was taken into custody for questioning. Right now, police say this is being investigated as a body found and not a homicide. But right now, there are still a lot of questions like which missing persons case were police originally looking into. Yesterday, police told the public about missing Brighton Heights man Derek Davis. We asked police if the tip they were looking into this morning was about Davis or if the body found is Davis, but they would not say. Police also wouldn't say whether they think the body was brought here after the man died or wrapped in plastic at the California Avenue home. They said the medical examiner is now looking into what caused him to die. And coming up at 5 and 6, I'm looking to learn more about the body that was found. I'm also talking to neighbors to see if they saw or heard anything in the early morning hours. I'll have that for you coming up this evening. For now, we're live in Brighton Heights. Serafina James, Channel 11 News.
All right, Serafina, thanks. Also breaking in the last hour, the Allegheny County Health Department has released their latest COVID numbers.
And just in the last 24 hours, there were 797 new cases. They range in age from 1-year-old to 98 years old. The median age is 38. There were also 10 more deaths reported.
Severe Weather Team 11 coverage now, and meteorologist Scott Harbaugh joining us.
And Scott, you're tracking some sprinkles, maybe some snow flurries later this afternoon.
Yeah, it just doesn't look very pretty outside, but nothing that's going to amount to any sort of issues across the area this afternoon. Here's Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. A couple lighter snow showers into Indiana County, into the mountains of Westmoreland, and Cambria County as well. Temperatures outside of the mountains all well above freezing, so no road issues whatsoever this afternoon. There is a breeze, so there is a wind chill. Current wind chill in Greensburg, 28 feels like 29 in Butler. And that wind will be a little gusty this afternoon. Not terrible. General wind gust 17 to about 20 miles per hour. One or two spots could pick up a wind gust close to 25 miles per hour. We're going to calm down later today and tomorrow. However, Christmas Eve day and Christmas Eve night, a different story. I've updated timing of rain and snow and how that's going to impact your Christmas Eve plans coming up in about 15 minutes.
Congress passed a $900 billion pandemic relief package late last night. It would finally deliver long-sought cash to businesses and people. It would also free up money for vaccinations.
And that bill is now on the way to President Trump for his signature. NBC's Hallie Jackson has the latest.
For Congress, a done deal, finally, as overnight lawmakers greenlight a massive pandemic relief package. The $900 billion bill includes more money for unemployment benefits, small businesses, and direct checks to many Americans. $600 for people making less than $75,000 a year, plus another $600 for every child. Because the bill is so big, nearly 5,600 pages, it might take a couple days to reach the president's desk. But once he signs it into law, expect those checks to come fast, maybe as soon as the start of next week, according to the Treasury Secretary, who says this deal should be enough to help Americans until the economy gets better.
I think this will take us through the recovery.
But many Democrats say it's only the beginning.
Anyone who thinks this bill is enough doesn't know what's going on in America.
Dee Robinson knows what it's like to feel financial pandemic pain.
It's been a very long, tough road for me and very challenging. Even food, I'm going to, food pantries and I don't want to start crying.
She's been delivering food and driving for rideshare apps to try to keep her and her son afloat, but may not be able to make rent much longer.
$600 I wasn't happy about it, but I said, you know what, it's something. At least when I get evicted, it'll help with the hotel room.
Some of the key parts of the relief package run out in a matter of months. Protection from eviction only lasts until January, although President-elect Joe Biden might extend it once he takes office. The $300 a week in additional unemployment benefits is set to stop in the middle of March. And at the end of that month is the deadline for small businesses to get another round of loans under the $285 billion Paycheck Protection Program.
Now is NBC's Hallie Jackson reporting. Now, this is the second biggest stimulus package ever passed, but already Democrats are calling for another round of relief. Overnight, President-elect Joe Biden responded to the news, tweeting in part, "I applaud this relief package, but our work is far from over. Starting in the new year, Congress will need to immediately get to work on support for our COVID-19 plan."
Closer to home, Pittsburgh Mayor Bill Peduto has responded to the bill, saying, in part, "I am grateful there is some relief for families, but those of us working directly with those families know that $600 is not enough." Part of his statement also focused on what was left out of the bill, and that was funding for cities and states. That was a sticking point that Democrats and Republicans couldn't agree on. City and state leaders throughout the country worry that without help from the federal government, they might have to cut services and jobs in the coming year.
Now, tucked into that massive coronavirus relief deal is a plan to shield Americans from surprise medical bills. An unexpected medical bill can be devastating financially and exhausting to fight if you have private insurance. Channel 11's Jacqueline Fell explains what Congress just did to shield Americans from this health headache.
It's a nightmare scenario. You've been airlifted to a hospital or are heading into an emergency or operating room. Well, once you're on the other side of that emergency, a surprise bill that could be hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Congress approved a plan to make surprise medical bills illegal starting in 2022. They happen when an out-of-network provider is unexpectedly involved in a patient's care. Those doctors often bill those patients for large fees, far higher than what health plans typically pay. It's estimated Americans have paid out millions, with research finding 1 in 5 ER visits lead to an out-of-network bill.
This is really one of the issues that seems like, a no-brainer to really help consumers and families.
The bill was included in a massive coronavirus relief deal Congress just approved. President Trump is expected to sign it into law later this week. Reporting outside Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
Happening today, the second wave of COVID fighting drugs will start being administered. Healthcare workers are some of the first to get the Moderna vaccine, giving those who have been risking their lives helping others the greatest sense of protection they've had since the pandemic began. UPS began delivering the Moderna vaccine to locations across the country yesterday. Like the Pfizer vaccine, Moderna's requires 2 shots.
New details now about the new strain of COVID-19 detected in the United Kingdom and other countries. Pfizer and Moderna say they are testing to see if their vaccines work against it. COVID-19 has mutated before, and both companies say their vaccines worked against those variations. But researchers who are examining the new strain are concerned it could diminish the effectiveness of the vaccines. New video here of Dr. Anthony Fauci getting the COVID-19 vaccine. This happened just a little over an hour ago today. He got the Moderna vaccine. Secretary of Health and Human Services Alex Azar also got that vaccine.
An all-day manhunt across the city of Pittsburgh ended last night with an arrest. Renato Sheely is behind bars in the Allegheny County Jail. He's accused of opening fire yesterday morning at an apartment building along Heldman Street, wounding 1 person. The man wanted for shooting a McKeesport police officer on Sunday is still on the run. The moment it happened, it was caught on camera. Police say the man coming out of the vehicle there is Kobe Francis. He is still handcuffed. As he's about to come out of the vehicle there, investigators say he managed to pull a gun he had hidden while sitting in the back of that police cruiser. He opened fire when the officer opened the door. Officer Jerry Athens was shot 3 times, but is expected to be okay. If you know where Kobe Francis is, you're to call 911 or the county police tip line. That number up right now at the bottom of your screen.
Well, it is no secret people need help this year, and seniors are no exception. That's why Channel 11 and Gateway Health teamed up to make sure people have what they need during the holidays and in the months ahead. And Channel 11, Mike Colton explains.
Gateway Health is giving back in a big way and offering support and services to those in need. Officials behind the effort say it's essential as this pandemic continues to drag out, impacting each and every one of us. With so many folks struggling each and every day, Gateway Health is working to lessen the burden. They've partnered with WPXI's 11 Cares for a special fundraiser. The overall aim is to help seniors in public housing communities. Through this initiative, they're raising money and buying supplies to help senior residents of the Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh, as well as the Allegheny County Housing Authority. Money raised will go toward healthy food, PPE, toiletries, cleaning supplies, winter clothing, and other items. Officials say it's the least they can do during this very challenging time.
First and foremost, thank you to all of the residents of the city of Pittsburgh and the surrounding areas who have helped out residents in public housing. But the need is still there. The need is great.
And to make a donation to this cause, just head over to WPXI.com/11cares. In the meantime, we're now talking to Gateway Health as well as the Housing Authority about other ways you can give back and why it's so important, especially during this time of the year. For Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting this afternoon, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Let There Be Light, the grassroots effort that saved a Pittsburgh tradition for at least one more year.
We tried doing a tool set, and just finding a tool set right now is difficult.
The items the local fire hall was able to find and how raffling them off could help keep them in business.
Rain, snow, wind on the way for Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve night. I'm tracking how that's going to impact your holiday plans.
The people spoke and the powers that be listened. The Tree of Lights will return next Christmas.
And Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond explains the effort it took to keep that local tradition alive.
After this Christmas, the tree in Point State Park lives to see another Christmas. It just might look different next year. Duquesne Lights' 80-foot tree of lights dates back to 1988. Park officials expressed concern that it violates the historical significance of the park. So right before Thanksgiving, Duquesne Light announced it would retire the tree in January. Pittsburghers weren't having it and didn't want this tradition to stop. Pete Lenko created an online petition to save the tree. Nearly 10,000 people signed it. Then on Monday, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and Duquesne Light said that they have heard the people of Pittsburgh and agreed the tree will return in 2021.
Because it inspires hope, it brings hope to people, and it makes you feel lighthearted when you come past at night and you see it. It's just something that's beautiful. Another testament to the overall ambience of Pittsburgh.
So what will the tree look like next year, and what are they going to do with this one? I'm working to find out the answers to both of those questions. I'll let you know what I find out tonight at 5. Reporting in Point State Park, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Pennsylvania's unemployment rate fell for a 7th straight month in November. The state's unemployment stands at 6.6%. That's down 0.8 and slightly higher than the national average. Pennsylvania has regained about 57% of the 1.1 million jobs lost since the start of the pandemic in mid-March.
Another local PNC Bank branch is closing its doors. The Harmar location will close on March 19th. The Trib says the bank will combine the Anchor Road branch with one less than 4 miles away in Fraser Township. The bank says the increase in online banking since the pandemic factored into that decision.
Without this raffle, we would probably be really hurting.
They can't hold bingo, fish fries, or pancake breakfast. So a local fire department is raffling off an assault rifle to raise money. Like many departments, Laurel Borough Volunteer Fire Company can use all the funding it can get. Because of COVID restrictions, though, their fundraising has been limited. They can't do the traditional fish fries or bingo nights, so they're holding an online raffle. All you have to do is pay $20 online and wait for the drawing.
It's all virtual. There's no meeting people. Once it's sold, they go to the distributor and they pick it up.
They are raffling off 100 rifles. All winners will have to meet federal requirements and pass a background check to claim theirs. So why an assault rifle? The assistant chief said this close to Christmas, it was actually easier to find the rifles than it was to find a tool set.
Butler County is trying to give restaurants a much-needed boost during the holidays. Their Tourism and Convention Bureau launched a campaign called Talk About Takeout. Our partners at the Business Times says they'll highlight takeout options. Then you're encouraged to take pictures of your food and share experiences on social media to help restaurants drum up some business.
A local brewing company is opening its doors in spite of COVID-19. Necromancer Brewing will open in this space in Ross Township in March. It's between McKnight Road and Thompson Run Road. The company plans to open as if indoor dining and drinking restrictions are in place, meaning it will offer beer pickup and delivery.
Nemacolin Woodlands Resort has a new name. They're simply now going by Nemacolin. They're also focused on COVID safety, limiting reservations to 140 hotel and lodging rooms out of the 200 available. It's also offering COVID testing to its guests. Well, the two largest planets in our solar system came closer together than they have since the Middle Ages.
Yeah, we told you yesterday it would be too cloudy to see the celestial wonder locally, so we'll give you a look. Here's what it looks like. This is Jupiter and Saturn just after dusk. Based on their positions, they appeared to be closely aligned in the sky. Astronomers say you'd have to go all the way back to the year 1226 to see a closer alignment between these planets.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Now, that was with a high-powered telescope. If you just Google some pictures and try to find some pictures, it does look like a bright star. Really impressive last night. Unfortunately, we were cloudy last night. We are seeing some breaks in the overcast now, so there is a slight chance after sunset tonight we might catch a glimpse of it. I don't think it's going to be completely overcast, but probably isn't going to be clear either. PennDOT cameras right now, I-79 Kerwin Heights. You can see some brightening to the sky and some shadows showing up underneath the car. So we still have some rain and snow showers around out there. Most of them very light, very spotty. Temperature 38 degrees, west wind at 13, giving us a bit of a wind chill. There it is. I mean, it's not very impressive. Most areas outside of the mountains saw no accumulation from this whatsoever, but there were some spots in the mountains of West Virginia and Maryland that picked up 5, 6 inches of snow overnight last night and first thing this morning. This afternoon, a heavier coat for the dog walk. Make sure the pups are ready to come back in quickly, too, because temperatures won't be terrible, but with the wind, it's going to feel like it's in the mid-20s most of the day. Okay, a couple flurries rest of the afternoon. Best day to get outside is tomorrow. That will be the dry day. Temperatures approaching 50 degrees. Rain Thursday, changing to snow Thursday night, then snow showers and flurries on Friday. Now, this is Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and the good news is if you're a romanticist about a white Christmas, you're probably going to go to bed with green grass on Thursday night and wake up with white grass on Friday morning. Unfortunately, if you have plans Christmas Eve night, it's going to be a little dicey on the travel after 8 or 9 o'clock. Tonight, quiet, 27, mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, decent day, warmer temperatures, up near 50 degrees. Here comes that system on Thursday. Notice by 4 in the afternoon, heavy rain in the areas of yellow and orange. The pink, that's the rain changing to snow. The white is snow. By the time we get to 8 o'clock, here comes the change line into Allegheny County, into Butler County, and into Washington County. This is going to be a fairly quick changeover. Notice how bright white this is back behind it. There's going to be a period of moderate snow for a couple of hours before it finally tapers off to light snow overnight. And by first thing Friday morning, most of it is wrapped up. I do think it's going to create some problems for Christmas Eve travel, especially after 9 o'clock. Watch for slick roads because you're going to have a couple things that are going to happen. Heavy rain all day, so rain-soaked roads. Quickly falling temperatures, which means we're going to get a little bit of a flash freeze going Thursday night. That means the roadways just ice up. Now, crews will be out treating them, but it's hard to treat roadways that are rain-soaked, especially with that heavy rain falling. Then you put some snow on top of that. Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper will be in tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock with updated storm timing and storm totals. But right now, looks like Christmas Eve night, a widespread 2 to 4 inches of snow. 1 or 2 spots, western Beaver County, Lawrence County, Mercer County could pick up maybe 5 inches. But again, this is still a couple of days out. I just want to give you an early look as to what to expect Christmas Eve night. The other part of this is the crashing temperatures in the wind chill. By 3 o'clock, wind chill already into the 30s in Pittsburgh, falling into the 20s during the evening. And when you wake up Christmas Day morning, the wind chill is going to be about 5 to 8 degrees across the area, and the high temperature only 20 degrees. It does warm up a bit over the weekend, 28 Saturday and 38 for the high on Sunday.
Well, if you're someone who likes to get rid of your real Christmas tree the day after Christmas, Allegheny County has you covered. The county's annual tree recycling program starts on Saturday. The program is free. All lights, decorations, tinsel, and stands must be removed. There are 9 drop-off locations at county parks.
A major break in a missing persons case. The evidence, police say, points to murder.
It's hard. It's really hard knowing that you're one person and you can't give everything you have.
Local healthcare workers at the end of their rope. What they claim their employer is forcing them to do that could be putting their health at risk. Starting today, some local Rite Aid locations will offer free COVID-19 testing. That includes pharmacies in Monroeville, Butler, and Pittsburgh. Testing runs from 10 to 8 Monday through Friday and from 10 to 5 on the weekends. The tests are done with nasal swabs that you do yourself. You do not need to have symptoms to get tested, but you must register and get scheduled for a time. CVS Health will administer the vaccine at 40,000 long-term care facilities across the country. The effort will begin next Monday in Pennsylvania. CVS will eventually provide the vaccine to the general public in its pharmacies locations starting next year.
Well, you're hearing a lot about the COVID-19 vaccinations right now, but some doctors are concerned about other vaccines families may be putting off because of the pandemic, specifically the MMR vaccine that protects kids against measles, mumps, and rubella. A new study of nearly 100,000 children in Ohio found that from 2017 to this August, there was a 10% drop in the number of children who received their first MMR vaccine.
We're all thinking about COVID right now, and it's super important, but it's just as important to think about those other infectious diseases.
Dr. Bodie, who you just heard from, says pediatricians can encourage parents to get their kids' vaccinations by offering longer hours and flexible scheduling.
COVID cases among children skyrocket, while health officials say the situation may actually be worse than we know.
If you're vaccinated, do you still need to wear a mask?
Now that COVID vaccines are being administered, it's a question a lot of people have. What the health experts have to say about that coming up.
You're scared not only for yourself, but for your residents that you just can't take care of them the way you want to.
That one woman works at a local nursing home, and she claims that it's overrun with COVID-19. She is sick with the virus right now, and she says so are dozens of other staff members. But she told Channel 11's Michelle Newell they're still going to work.
It's hard. It's really hard knowing that you're one person and you can't give everything you have to each and every one of them.
Ashley Grimm is on the front lines of the battle against COVID-19.
You're scared not only for yourself, but for your residents.
Grimm is a nurse at Bella Healthcare Center, a nursing home in Fayette County.
I had been working the COVID unit or the red zone. The last time I was there was over 55 cases, and the residents are really sick. I mean, they're really sick.
Grimm is at home fighting her own battle. She says she tested positive for COVID-19 and believes she was exposed at work.
Because of me being around the positive people in the atmosphere that I was around, and sometimes not having the correct equipment, probably contributed to me contracting and becoming positive at the facility.
Not only is she fighting to recover, she is monitoring her family's health.
My daughter has been coughing, complaining of body pains. My husband's been coughing and not feeling well.
I have indeed tested positive.
Cheyenne Ross is a certified nursing assistant at Bella Healthcare Center.
I'm having a lot of congestion. I can't smell, I can't taste. I wake up with a throbbing headache that doesn't go away.
She believes she was also exposed to COVID-19 on the job.
Right now, we have maybe 85 residents, in which 10 of them are only negative. The rest of them are actually positive. It's very disheartening. I think we cry more than I can count my lifetime.
We contacted the nursing home for answers. A representative confirms residents and employees have tested positive for COVID-19, but would not say how many. They sent us a statement that reads in part, while unfortunate given the current level of community spread, it's not unique and we are taking numerous steps to stop the spread of this virus. Our facility has adequate PPE and our dedicated staff continues to wear proper PPE. The facility conducts testing twice weekly and follows protocols for staff and residents as required by CDC or local health guidance. Dealing with a global pandemic like COVID is uncharted territory for any healthcare provider. But the employees we spoke with say the facility is understaffed and wasn't prepared for the spike in cases.
And when we ask management to help us, they don't want to help us.
They weren't prepared. I think that they kind of got a little bit carried away with being a COVID-free facility for so long.
I'm Michelle Newell for Channel 11 News.
Severe Weather Team 11 coverage now, and meteorologist Scott Harbaugh joining us again.
And Scott, it is pretty chilly out there. Wind chills in the 20s right now.
Yeah, a little brisk this afternoon. Not a whole lot going on as far as rain or snow, just some flurries, a couple sprinkles across the area. But you'll notice the chill in the air. Nothing out of the ordinary for this time of the year, but a west wind at 13, making it feel like it's 28 right now in Greensburg. Current wind chill Butler 27, and right at 30 degrees for the wind chill in Pittsburgh and in Beaver. Again, storm tracker, Doppler 11 radar. Couple flurries, couple sprinkles most of the afternoon. It's going to be more cloud cover than anything else. If you want to get the kids outside this afternoon, keep in mind heavier coat, especially with that breeze today, but most of the afternoon will be dry. Should be dry during the day tomorrow too, but I'm getting updated storm tracker information right now on a new system that's going to be coming in Christmas Eve day and will have an impact on your Christmas Eve plans, especially on those roadways. Updated timing with storm tracker coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Scott, thanks. We're taking a live look at Pittsburgh International. United Airlines is preparing to recall thousands of furloughed employees. Airlines will receive $15 billion in payroll support as part of the new economic stimulus package. But the airline warns it expects the recall to be temporary because travel demand remains pretty low. United says there's nothing in its research that suggests a huge difference in bookings over the next few months. And don't forget, you can now get tested for COVID-19 at the airport. Pittsburgh International partnered with a company to set up a testing station. You can either get a rapid test that gives you results in about 15 minutes or a PCR test that takes 2 days to come back.
Pennsylvania health officials will start doing digital contact tracing for COVID. The new tool is called Connect and Protect. It is for state residents who live in a county without its own health department. The tool is meant to reach more Pennsylvanians and collect their case information much more quickly. It works in tandem with current contact tracing tools, and all information will be confidential. State tracers are having trouble getting people to answer questions. During the last week of November, they were only able to get a hold of 9% of the people they had to call.
A new poll found 75% of Americans approve of a nationwide mask mandate. The Harris poll found 2/3 of people also think President-elect Joe Biden should ban gatherings of more than 10 people when he takes office. Meanwhile, West Virginia University has been given the green light to continue their mask study this spring. Their new data found just under 84% of people are wearing masks. That's a jump of about 5% from earlier in the study.
Cases of COVID-19 in children are rising. The American Academy of Pediatrics says they've gone up 25% over the past 2 weeks. Last week saw more than 182,000 new cases. That's the highest weekly increase since the pandemic began. So far, more than 1.8 million children under 17 years old have tested positive for the virus. Pediatricians say that number is probably lower than the real number because not all states report data the same. Children being severely ill or dying from COVID is still rare. However, the group says it needs to collect more data on how the virus could impact the long-term health of infected children.
There is a new plan to make a busy road through Aspinwall safer. We're talking about Freeport Road. It has been the site of numerous crashes over the years, and leaders say there were so many recommendations made in a 2019 transportation study, they can't do all of them. So they're focusing on upgrading bus shelters, making bike lanes more visible, and increasing parking. The upgrades are expected to be complete by next year.
The Westmoreland County Transit Authority is hoping to boost revenue by adding help wanted ads on buses. Officials tell our trip partners they've had requests from companies wanting to post employment ads. So board members revised a contract that will now allow help wanted signs on buses. The additional cash would help offset a drop in riders. Ridership is down by at least 70% from last year. The new training for local police that backers say will help officers and residents. A new proposal would provide cultural competency training for Pittsburgh's Department of Public Safety. The idea is to train police, fire, and other public safety workers about how to best deal with the city's immigrant and refugee population. The goal is to build trust in those communities. It would cost the city $50,000, according to our trip partners. If approved, the program could be up and running by the summer.
Shadyside Academy has a new nickname, the Bulldogs. It comes after they dropped their Indians mascot in July. They say the Bulldogs shows loyalty, courage, and tenacity. More details last month. The Penn Hills School District formed a committee to talk about the future of their Indian mascot. The committee is made up of students, parents, and coaches. They expect to make a recommendation in May. And just last week, the Cleveland Indians announced a decision to change their nickname. Last year, the team phased out its mascot from their hats and jerseys. A name change is not expected there, though, until 2022.
An immigrant couple was free to leave a Pennsylvania church on Monday after over 2 years using it as a sanctuary. The couple stepped outside of Tabernacle United Church in West Philadelphia for the first time in 843 days. This after they received a letter from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement saying the agency will support their case to stay in this country. The couple came to the U.S. 15 years ago, fleeing gang violence in Jamaica. They moved to the church after they lost their asylum case and were ordered to leave the country.
Months after the disappearance of an 18-year-old Amish woman from Pennsylvania, murder charges are being filed in the case. Linda Stoltzfus disappeared on June 21st while walking home from church. She has not been found, but police say they're not giving up and they want to give closure to her family. Investigators believe Eustace Smoker kidnapped Stoltzfus, then drove her to the eastern side of Lancaster County. Cell phone evidence shows Smoker traveling several times to the area where Stoltzfus's clothes were found buried. Police say they also found his DNA on the clothes. He remains behind bars. More adult kids are moving back home because of the pandemic.
Some basic ground rules parents can set to make the new living arrangement less stressful.
Plus holiday plans. I'm going to show you how rain and snow and wind are going to impact those plans. It's coming up.
When the pandemic struck, many young adults moved back home to save money or stay healthy, but that can also create tension. Our consumer advisor, Clark Howard, explains what parents could do to make the new arrangement easier.
Thank goodness the average American home is nearly twice the size of what it was a generation ago, because kids are on the rebound back into your house. And this is happening all over America, that with the problems in the job market, our adult children are moving back home. So if this happens in your case, it's awkward. Like, who's responsible for paying what if your kids come back in the house? You're going to charge them any rent? Are they going to pay for any of the food? Who cleans up? As my wife says, there is no dish fairy in our house. You use a dish, you wash it, you put it in the dishwasher. So establishing rules eliminates resentments. Many times there's great joy for us in having our adult children return home, but that joy can turn to aggravation if everybody doesn't agree how the rules are going to be carried out. I'm Clark Howard.
The Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are already being administered to many.
Yeah, Gordon, and while that is certainly good news, it doesn't mean you can throw your mask away once you're vaccinated. Medical experts say you might still need it for a while to come. Not exactly the answer people were hoping for, but doctors say there is a good medical reason why.
We don't yet know whether the vaccine just protects the individual getting the vaccine or also protects those around them.
Something else to consider, researchers say they don't know too much about how vaccines work on children younger than 12, so they'll likely need to wear masks for a while longer.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Cloudy across much of the area this afternoon, although we did have a brief brightening of the sky here at our studios about a half hour, 45 minutes ago. Right now, PennDOT cameras, Route 28 Etna, a lot of clouds, but roadways are dry. We've had a couple flurries. It's been about the extent of it. 38 the temperature, wind west 13. That is giving us a little bit of a wind chill as you step outside. Notice on Storm Tracker, Doppler 11 radar, not much going on. Most of the snow in the mountains is done other than some flurries. A few spots picked up 4-5 inches of snow in Somerset, Garrett, and Preston County. See a couple of sprinkles up toward Newcastle, but for the most part, just clouds again. There have been some breaks, but as you look upstream, a lot of cloud cover. If you're hoping to see the conjunction tonight of the planets, I don't think it's going to be overly visible. We might get a little bit of a break this evening, but probably not going to get much of one. Matter of fact, sunshine a little lax the next couple of days. Could see a touch tomorrow. I think Thursday's pretty much cloudy. Friday, maybe a little sun, but boys, it can be cold on Christmas Day with temperatures barely getting to 20 degrees. Rest of the afternoon, some sprinkles, a couple flurries, and a wind gust or two. High temperature 39 degrees. Tonight 27. A lot of clouds around, but not much else. And then during the day tomorrow, pretty good. Mostly cloudy, 49 degrees. Maybe you have to finish up some holiday shopping tomorrow. Shouldn't be too bad as far as the weather is concerned. Here comes that storm system on Thursday. We're going to start with rain much of the day, and some of that rain going to be heavy during the afternoon. 4 o'clock, cold front coming through. Along that front, heavy rain. About 40 miles behind the front. Notice the transition. The pink is the rain changing to snow. The white is the snow. Now, this is updated Storm Tracker, bringing that change into the Pittsburgh area just about 6:30. Now, the problem with this is a couple things. One, any evening services that are still going on, if you plan on going, roadways could be bad on the way home. Plus, if you just are going to family's house or maybe just having some people around the neighborhood walking around during the evening hours doing some things in the neighborhood. You know, a lot of neighborhoods like to do some celebrations. This will not be a great night. Wind, rain changing to snow, roadways will start getting bad as well. And then by Friday morning, Christmas morning is pretty much gone, but the wind chill is going to be the big factor. Right now it looks like a widespread 2 to 4 inches of snow Christmas Eve night. So for the kids, they'll go to bed with the grass green. They'll wake up with the grass white. Could be a little more back to the northwest. These numbers are going to get updated. This is still more than 2 full days out. So check back tonight with Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper for the updated forecast. Christmas Day itself is going to be cold. Not only are temperatures going to be in the teens much of the day, but with the wind, it's going to feel like single digits, and we'll have a couple flurries and snow showers from time to time. Saturday, just cold, partly sunny, 28 up to 38 degrees for the high temperature on Sunday.
Scott, thanks, and here's your local Steals and Deals.
Right now, it's a whole different world, and a lot of us are setting up offices at home, workspaces at home. The kids are learning from home, right? And right now you're going, oh my gosh, it's a little bit more complicated than I thought. I can make it simple for you. This is one of the best ideas ever, and it's from Sharper Image. It's called the socket shelf. So number one, you simply plug this in, and now you have 6 regular sockets and 2 USBs. You can charge 8 things at one time. You have the shelf that you can use or not use, completely up to you. So now if you're going, wow, I'm trying to set up this home office, I have the tablet, I have all these things I need to charge and they're in my way. Now they can all charge at once, and you can put a bunch of them at one time right up on the shelf, and they're not on your desk and they're not in your way. It's such a great idea because it keeps everything organized, everything charged. We have so many devices to charge right now, right? Do you have a TV with an outlet behind and there's all these wires running down to the ground? Wouldn't you like to just plug this in behind the TV and have everything here? Oh, in the bathroom? Isn't it amazing how many things, like, oh, I have an electric toothbrush, I have this, I have that. A lot of things to charge in a bathroom. Never enough counter space. You simply plug it in, everything you need is organized, and you're good to go. The surge protector is built in, and there's no electrician required. Right now at localsteels.com, it's 20 to 33% off, and you're gonna love it. I guarantee you absolutely will.
This is pretty interesting. 4 sisters in Germany have created a coronavirus board game that's becoming quite popular.
I don't know if I'm buying this for anybody for Christmas, but the sisters were inspired by the spring lockdown in their country and the panic buying it sparked. The family-friendly game is called Corona, the Rush to the Stores. Players have to work from shopping lists and face challenges of shortages and growing infection rates. They say they've sold more than 2,000 games and have another 300 pre-orders. If you have an extra horse or two, Pennsylvania State Police want to talk to you. You're not in trouble. The agency is looking for more animals for its mounted patrol unit. The horses are deployed statewide for searches, crowd control, security, and to patrol remote areas. They also take part in parades and other community events. You can contact State Police if you want to help out. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5.
And you can get breaking news updates anytime on our streaming apps. Just search WPXI on Apple TV, Roku, or Amazon Fire. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.
WPXI is proud to partner with UPMC to present Community Matters.
Due to the ongoing COVID